Okay. So we're recording. So for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure that is nobody on here, we have Chris and Susie McColl on with us today. And Susie is a diamond and Chris is an emerald. And so, and we're not going to laugh at all today. There will be no laughing. It's going to be all serious business. But thank you so much for hopping on. And we're so excited for you. Just we'd love for you to tell our story and just tell us anything that you feel like ambassadors could benefit from, you know, in your story, or, you know, some tips that y'all have or whatever you would like to share. The floor is y'all. So y'all go ahead.
Hey, we are so excited to be on this morning. We can barely stand it, just so you know.
Our favorite thing to do is talk Plexus.
And we would normally do that, but since it's a 10:31, we thought we would share some awesome cornbread recipes. Does that sound fantastic? Go, Susie, tell them about your cornbread.
I can't really make any cornbread. No.
Cook it all. Anybody that comes over when Susie is cooking, they have to sign a waiver ahead of time that says, hey, you might die. Is that fine? Okay, right?
Yesterday, I found this awesome word called flawsome. Flawed and awesome, and it's where you can embrace your flaws and know that you're still awesome.
Them. You can celebrate them.
I was like, this word was meant for me. I know I can't cook. I embrace that, and I'm awesome.
Seriously, right?
Chris knows he can't fix anything.
I can fix some stuff.
No, he can't.
Okay, and hey, Susie is selling herself short. She really can cook. If you've never had good toast, this one right here can whip up some toast.
That's
now.
not even
true.
It's
awesome. You want it a little brown, a little black? What do you want? She can do it.
Hey, I can mess up some. I cooked broccoli one time. I steamed it with no water.
No water.
Don't ever try that.
Have you ever tried
it's a disaster.
No. The instructable pan that's not possible to ruin.
I can ruin
this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Banana muffins, no bananas. Did that. Oh, cookies with no flour. I did that.
Yes, it's awesome. It looked like someone took a dump on the pan, just boom, and we're all sitting around going, "What is this? What is this?" We're going, "Cookies."
See, I'm flossing.
Okay, so hey, here's what we're here to talk about, though. Seriously. We're here to talk about Plexus.
Yes, we are. Yes,
we love Plexus, right?
Yes.
And so when we tell you our story, I want you to know a couple things. Obviously, when we tell y'all our story, the people that are on this, we're telling you, hoping that something will fall out of our mouth that will get you to grab a hold of this thing and start running with it. Because I'm telling you, it's changing lives everywhere, right? Tell our story, Susie.
It's changed our lives completely. Okay, so we're coming up on our 3-year Plexversary, August 13th, which is really, really hard to believe because we have so much fun every day.
It's unbelievable.
Time is just like flying by.
It's crazy.
So we started all because I could not quit Diet Dr. Pepper. That is literally the only reason I ever ordered the pink drink.
Thank you, Lord, that Susie could not kick this habit. Because,
because I tried, honestly, for 4 years, on and off. I would try. I made it 30 days one time. Mr. Health Hater over here he loved that I had a bad habit.
I would sabotage it.
Yeah, he would bring me home like a 24-pack and be like, here you go. And I'd be like, because I had no willpower over it.
None. She had picture a funnel and an IV. That was her.
No, I was very OCD. I had 2 cans a day. I had one at lunch and one at dinner. I was very OCD about my Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Anyways, so Chris was like totally anti-health. The fact that he even tried the pink drink to this day is pretty God-ronic, actually.
Yeah.
And really, he'll tell you the only reason that he tried it was why.
Well, because I wanted to prove Susie wrong yet again.
And mocked me.
Yeah, it literally, this is what makes it so funny is I made a post on Facebook like an hour. I did a before and after picture an hour apart.
We hadn't even gotten the product
We didn't even have the product yet, but I'm like poofing out my cheeks and I go, Susie says I'm going to drink this pink stuff and it's going to transform me. And then an hour later I came on and I'm like pulling my face back and I go, she was right. This stuff is fantastic, right?
Oh, yeah. And he says something like, because, he had figured out that it was direct sales. And so he was like, and I'm rich and I'm going to be, or now I'm a Calvin Klein Speedo model, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And in the comments, so we're playing back and forth. It was good-natured ribbing. And I say in the comments, oh, yeah, we have our Plexus and we're going to convention. Well, the funny thing about that was that we had no idea there was such a thing as a Plexus.
No clue.
It was probably a month later that I went to a meeting and I found out there was such a thing. And I called Chris as soon as I got out. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. There is a Plexus.
It was nuts.
And he was like, what? And even then, we never dreamed that we would be driving one, let alone 2 of those Plexus like that.
Yeah.
And we certainly never thought in a million years we would want to go to a convention. Like this is what you have to know about us. if somebody had approached us and said, you should do Plexus as a business, we would have ran for the hills. We did not have time for it. MLMs to us were like, no, I don't want to do that.
And we had no experience, but the hearsay, the same stuff that we fight today, we had heard about that, this is how direct sales works. But go ahead.
I didn't really know anything other than I knew my friends that were Arbonne people or Pampered Chef. I knew they had to have parties, and I did not want any part of that. So we have 4 kids. We were as busy could be. We owned our own business. I taught fitness classes, did some other stuff. Our kids were all in sports. So if you have kids in sports, we were busy with that. So this literally was such an answer to prayer for us. I had prayed for years for 2 things. I wanted Chris to want to be healthy. I didn't want him to just get healthy. I wanted him to want to be healthy. And then the second, and his health was declining. Like he was going down this path.
Susie, pineapples. I'm here. I'm right here. You're hogging everything.
I know. Just hush.
Susie's hogging the life out of this thing right now.
Just wait. He'll hog
Everybody
it all.
help me. Send help to my house. Susie, pineapples.
He'll hog it in a second. But and then I prayed for our finances. And so here's what you have to know about us. We got really well really early. We were married very young, 19 and 21. And
we had 3 kids, and I thought, hey, let's go ahead and tie the knot. Let's do this thing, Susie.
No, even the night before we got married, my mom was like, you can tell me No, we just want to get married. Yeah. We don't plan anything. Our wedding was no different. We weren't going to plan a wedding. My mother-in-law, his mom was like, you have to have a wedding. So we had our wedding literally.
You are chasing rabbits.
Thursday at 4:00. Because that was the only time they had open for this parlor at first. I got everything basically from a grocery store. We called it our one-stop wedding shop. I mean, we don't plan.
Susie.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, that was chasing rabbits. I am very good at that. So I prayed for our finances too, because at some point we owned our own mortgage company. Beth can identify on this. And the mortgage business just crashed. And we stayed with it. We stayed with it too long.
Yep.
Titanic kind of thing. And
we were glad for that water.
We didn't know how we were going to keep a roof over our family's head. That's how bad it got for us. So when we say we've been in there financially, we really have.
We really have.
Hang on 1 second. There's somebody that's not muted, and I can't tell who it is. I can hear them talking. If y'all can make sure that you're muted, because somebody is not muted.
In the car. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I muted everybody, and apparently it didn't mute like one person.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good now. Sorry.
Hey, maybe we should go ahead and take an intermission with Susie's hogging everything. I'm thinking maybe you guys might want to run to the bathroom and get a snack. What do you think?
Okay, shush.
Can I say one word?
Yes, go.
Okay. So, like, what Susie is leaving out is she did quit her Dr. Pepper. So
I did.
When we're
Me too.
You can go ahead and get your tissues out because it's a real tearjerker. She just quit the Dr. Pepper. She said, I'm done with it. So we literally started telling everybody without any strategy, without any planning. We were having results with the products. Our friends, our family were doing it, and they had joined us as ambassadors simply because it was the best deal. And so, like, part of this, as long as we tell our story, I'm going to stop every once in a while and tell you guys, don't overcomplicate this thing.
Yes.
So many people want to have this, I don't know, they just want to make it such this animal that seems hard to conquer versus running your pie hole a little bit, sharing with other people what the products are doing for you and others. And it's just like, it was this natural thing that happened. So point 1 is keep everything simple. And I think if people say to you enough, oh, just keep it simple, you hear it, and then it just goes right out the door and you start being complicated again. These products are transforming people's health. They work. The compensation plan is like nothing you've ever seen. It works. The only thing that you have to do is tell people about it. So
And this is what you have to know. So we weren't planning on, we didn't even understand that you could make money, really. I mean, we joked about it, but there was no understanding there.
Yeah.
And so when we were telling people, and I'm sending messages to people, and Chris is sending messages to people, it wasn't because we were trying to make money. It was because we saw what these products were doing for people. And like my friends that had rheumatoid arthritis or PCOS or whatever, I was like sending, and I know I'm talking non-compliant, but this is a team training.
Don't let this pop up on your Facebook wall. There's Chris and Susie going, IBS, right?
Migraine. Yeah. So anyway, so I send messages to my friends and I'm like, hey, you guys, I don't know if this is going to help you, but maybe you should think about trying this pink drink. I can't believe how it's already changing our health.
Yeah.
Chris was sending the same kind of messages to people. So I think that's a huge key is personal invitation. I think we all depend on the easiness of social media. You can just put it out there. And Chris, give your little example of the
So
shotgun.
like a Facebook post, if this is all you're doing to grow your business, you're doing it wrong. Okay. And we'll talk about it just quickly, but I want you to appreciate that, like, because of how Facebook works, not all your friends are seeing your posts. You guys probably know that by now. But like when you make a Plexus post, it's like, if you know what a shotgun does, it shoots up a bunch. It's like shooting a shotgun in the air, and it has hundreds of these little pellets. And you're hoping that one of those little pellets falls and hits your prospect on the head, and they go, oh, I want some of this stuff, or I want to feel better, or, oh, I want to earn income. And it does happen, okay? So over time, if you consistently post on Facebook, you're going to start to get a drip of messages and people that say, I've been watching you. But if you take a personal message that you are targeting somebody that maybe it's a single mom, okay? This is a single mom that is struggling to pay their bills, and you know that Plexus could be something they could build into a successful business. Now you are taking, like, it's like looking through the crosshairs through a scope, and you're aiming directly at the bullseye. And so when you shoot that message to them, it's more likely to have a positive response than just that random Facebook post that you made 2 days ago. So we want to encourage you to make sure that you are sending personal invitations. It's the most effective way to grow your business. So we're doing that. We're telling people about the products. We're sending them to our website.
And we're talkers. So
we
were telling
are
anybody
talkers,
and everybody.
right? And you don't have to be a talker.
No.
Like when you see us and you go, well, I'm not going to jump on, I'm not going to go crazy on Facebook. No problem.
Yeah.
We know all kinds of people that are.
We had a diamond on our team hangout last night she'll be the first one to tell you, Christine Weir, that she's an introvert. Her best friend's an introvert. And then we had another person on they were all like, we're all introverted. And so, and our own son, who's 21, you would not believe that he's our son because he does not speak unless it's absolutely necessary.
I am not completely sure he is my son, but that's a whole nother Zoom, okay?
Yes,
so watch this.
Chris is mini me, but he's quiet.
All of a sudden, Jerry Springer pops up behind us. It's a DNA test. Go! No,
No, and here's what we have to tell you about our son. He's 21, and he's he should be senior Ruby this month.
Yeah.
So, and he's an introvert. So we'll go into that later.
So Plexus, so remember, we had gone broke in the mortgage business. We got in the fishing business trying to create a sense of family and a better quality of life because the stress of the mortgage business, and we did make a lot of money, and then we had gone really broke, but it was the best thing that ever happened to us because it gave us a perspective of what Plexus now is total freedom. And
it also gave us an incredible work ethic because during that time when we weren't sure what we were going to do, we did whatever we needed to do to feed our family.
That's right. I mean, like, seriously, Susie had me dancing on the pole for a while, and we were really going broke.
We would have been really broke if that were the case.
So, but here's what goes down. So then all of a sudden, we're in the fishing business. We're not going to make a lot of money, but we're going to have a better quality of life. Right. We were working hard. We were building it into something. We thought it'd be something we pass on to our kids. Well, enter the first Plexus check. Plexus sends us our first check.
Oh, wait. Oh. I like to tell about how I was really right. So I tell Chris at some point during this time, I go, I think maybe we're making money. And he mocked me.
Nobody makes any money in those things.
Yeah, and he mocked me. But I was getting these emails. Congratulations, you have a new ambassador. And here's the deal. I was telling everybody to do what we did. Just join for the $34.95. That's what I did. You get wholesale. I am cheap. I want to get the best deal possible.
Yeah.
And so, and most people do. Nobody wants to pay more than they have to. So
right.
Go ahead.
So then when we had gone Fast Start Gold without knowing what that meant. And at this point we were doing, like I said, we had one website. It was Susie's, and we would refer all of our prospects, or now we look at them as prospects, to the website to join. Well, they sent us our first check, and literally we're standing at the mailbox, and it was right before they transitioned over to automatic deposits. And I rip open our first check, and my mouth drops. I cannot believe it. I look right at Susie, and I go, I think we've done something illegal. Okay, that's exactly what I said, because they had sent us real money.
You've gotten us into a scheme.
Yeah, literally, that's what I tell her. I'm like, nice, Susie, great job. You got us in a scheme. And we literally could have paid our mortgage like 4 times. And so I was like, okay, this is real money here. And so I called my attorney buddy and I said, Susie's gotten us in some kind of a scheme. Can you look up Plexus Worldwide and tell me what this is all about? he calls me back and he says, man, it's backed by Morgan Stanley. And he starts rattling off some award they had won. And he goes, and by the way, sign me up. I need to lose about 25 pounds. Right? Like at that moment, I thought, this is real. Like this is real, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so that's when we started approaching it more like a business and sold our fishing company about 7 or 8 months later after we started Plexus.
Because we were already making so much money with Plexus at that point, and we knew we were going to run our business into the ground. Because we were
was a distraction.
Plexus obsessed pretty early on. But so here, I have to go back. So I didn't finish my thought. So I prayed for 2 things for years: him to want to get healthy and financial freedom. And we did the Dave Ramsey thing. And
we just couldn't keep any cash in the envelopes. You know what I'm saying? The emergency was groceries day. Okay, you understand.
So we did all that. And so, but I have to be honest, like I had pretty much given up on those prayers even coming true. Like I prayed it, but I didn't really believe it. I thought, well, this is just how life is going to be. He's going to be not healthy and probably die early and leave me alone with all these kids.
Yeah.
But we're going to have debt. We have 4 kids and cars and insurance and college is expensive and we're just going to have debt. That's just how life is going to be. So I really didn't truly believe what I was praying for, which is kind of sad, but just the truth. So the other thing I want to back up a little bit, like a few weeks into taking the products before we ever even got the check, I sat down at the computer. Somehow I came across, and I have no idea how this even happened now, but I came across an article that was horrible about Plexus. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah. And so she yells from the other room. She goes, Chris, get in here. And I come in and I'll never forget it. And this is point number 2.
Yeah.
When it comes to something as an ambassador, what we've learned. I want you to learn from our mistakes and also anticipate your new ambassadors may cross this path and you need to fill in the void for them. But here it is. Susie's looking at the computer and she's white. I feel fantastic. We have loved ones on the products, but she says, we got to call everybody and tell them to stop taking Plexus. And I'm like, what? And so I start reading the article, and I'm reading this just disaster of this stuff. Liver problems. And so I look at Susie and I go, okay, you're right. Let's call everybody. But I'm going to keep taking it because I feel fantastic. Okay? I mean, literally, that's how it went down.
And I was like, well, me too. And then we finished reading the article, and when you get to the end of it, it was a lady selling.
She just was bashing the product. And
so she was ripping apart Plexus.
Yeah. It was just misinformation.
Our whole point in telling you that is our belief now, and even just a few months after that, our belief was so bulletproof. You couldn't say anything to us about the Plexus products that would make us doubt, because we now have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of testimonies of people's health being drastically changed, including our own.
Yeah.
And so now you can't say anything to us, but we didn't have the belief then.
So if you joined an hour ago, okay, let's just assume you just joined, you've hopped on this Zoom this morning, you don't really know anything. You have to understand that if you come across misinformation, we have, last time I counted, 300 plus doctors, pharmacists, nurses, people of the medical field that will tell you, not to mention the tens of thousands of testimonies, but these products are amazing. Okay. Yeah. Like, don't let anybody ever sway you from that. Don't let them come across somebody. Don't let somebody go get a report from their doctor and suddenly you go, when there's a billion other things happening and it's not Plexus. What Susie and I figured out is if people stub their big toe, they go, must be the Plexus, and like, we're like, oh yeah. And so we hear it so much. Right.
Drinking a Monster.
I don't know what's happening. We did this funny video one time because we would see our friends, they would call us up and say, I don't think this Plexus stuff is working. And then like literally the night before they were at Hooters, like whooping it up with all their friends, drinking beer and like orange stuff everywhere. It cracked us up to the point where we finally did this video like, okay guys, like if you're serious about your health, it's a tool. Yeah. So, but believe, knowing us now, if you do know us at all, we're Plexus crazy. It's because of what these products are doing. So don't let anybody sway your belief. Now, your mom, your grandma, your neighbor, when they join this afternoon or yesterday and they come across that same article, their belief is at 0. Yeah. Okay. And so they're likely to jump ship and say, oh, you're crazy. You've joined a pink cult. And, they're going to go nuts. So, but I want you to know that like these products are amazing. And it's the quality of the products that make them unique. You could go to the shelf and say, give me what's your favorite product? Alpha lipoic acid.
Yeah.
But it's the quality of which our alpha lipoic acid is that makes it so special and makes our products work so well. So don't ever get caught up in get lost by misinformation. No, you're okay. It's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah.
Our internet said we're unstable.
Well, our internet knows us a little too well. That's not the internet that's unstable, Mac.
And here's another thing. So Chris and I do talk to lots of strangers. Like we meet people out and about. We tell them about Plexus, and sometimes people get a short version. Sometimes they get longer depending on the circumstances. But we always now say, hey, you might come across some stuff on Google that is just not true. And the reason we tell people about it now is for a long time we didn't. And we would have somebody that we were like, oh man, they are going to be awesome at this.
We're so excited. Yeah.
We're excited to see their lives change with these products and with this opportunity. And then they would go dark. We call it going dark.
They just would disappear.
We figured out what was happening was, they met us, they liked us for a few minutes, and then they went and Googled.
Yeah, and then, or grandma did, and they come across articles. So here's my advice when it comes, and I didn't mean to jump into this yet, but Susie goes, no, it's fine, because I did it, because I jumped in it. So, but here's what you got to know. You want to control the information. The goal with a stranger is to get their information.
Yes.
You can the information that you're sending them so you can present to them what it is that makes our products great. It may be a Diamond documentary. It may be an article that you love. It may be a video that, that corporate did. We have something on our YouTube channel called Plexus in the News. It's totally non-compliant, so don't go post it on your Facebook page. But it's like, it's like them. It's a morning show in Texas talking about how our products came about. It's 53 seconds long. So
and it's third-party validation.
But remember, now you can also follow up with them. So don't get lost. Like you'll see us sit down on an airplane. We do sign people up sitting on an airplane.
Yes, we
okay,
do.
And we will make that our goal. But it's not realistic every time to give them all the information to make a buying decision on the spot. So, but back to our story real quick. So we're cruising along. Now, all of a sudden, 6 months in, our life is totally changed, okay? Emerald and then Sapphire shortly after, Diamond in a year, which we figured out now is crazy quick. So don't let what you do, this is the weirdest thing. We want to tell people what's possible, but at the same time, we don't want to discourage someone that might be taking longer to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll hear this, and it's so true. Find me another career. Find me another job that you could work 5-10 years at. Let's just say it took that long, and you're making $500,000, just under $500,000 a year, based upon the income disclosure statement. I always throw that in there like I'm doing a qualification, but it's, what I'm talking about, right? And you have total freedom. It doesn't exist. Most of the time, they've given you a couple dollars raise each hour and each day, and you look up and you go, oh, great, I get to take the kids on a vacation across town. I mean, it's stupid. Like why we are doing the Zoom with you guys is because we shoulder this huge responsibility because the Lord totally put Plexus in our life. Like, no doubt about it. Like, we're not doing this for any financial gain whatsoever. We're not doing it because we want to like entertain you. We're doing this because we want you to grab a hold of this opportunity and start to build your business. It can totally change your life. And like, it's not about us. It's not about Beth. It's about you. And so like, when we do this, you have to know that like, we're hoping so bad that you will believe, you'll listen, you'll do something, but you'll act. And that's where this thing, if you get off this Zoom and you go back to doing what you've been doing and you weren't getting the results that you were hoping to get, then you're just going to keep getting that. But like, we want to so bad. If I knew your mom, am I hugging?
Oh my gosh.
Am I hugging?
I'm hugging. Chime in.
Okay, chime in, Susie. You better be good because I was on a roll right there. Go, Susie.
I don't even know where
Susie,
you've been.
go ahead.
Vacation across town?
Everybody give Susie a thumbs down.
Sometimes I listen to him all the time,
stuff,
and I know what he's going to say, but the whole Vacation Across Town was a new one. I hadn't heard that.
Well, there you go. I'm saying I'm tired of people building other people's dreams. You should build your own. Go ahead,
Okay,
Susie.
I have several things to say. I'm going to try to get them out. So belief in the products is huge. We already talked about that. Belief in the company is huge. I know, obviously, we've had a little bit of trying time since October 1st.
What happened, Susie? Hey, did you guys know we got a new back office back in October?
Not know.
You didn't know that?
Probably not. You probably didn't even notice.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, like, I truly feel like that's honestly one of the best things that's happened to our company, to the people in our company, because it really has the people that have stuck that out and are still progressing, even with all of the hardship we've had. Those are the people that are going to make it all the way through. So give yourself a pat on the back if you made it through. But here's the other thing. If we were a candle company or a makeup company, I'm pretty sure that we wouldn't still be a company. That people wouldn't be going, well, I guess I'll wait for my makeup to get here. No, they wouldn't be. They would be finding somewhere else. But because our products are so freaking amazing and people depend on them, literally depend on them, our company is exploding with growth even more, even with all of the transition we've had. So belief in the company, belief in the products. And this is the biggest one. It's belief in yourself. And I think there's so many people, we say this opportunity is for anybody and everybody willing to grab hold of it and go with it. But there are so many people that really have to develop this core belief in themselves before they will be successful with this. And so one of Chris and I's favorite things to talk about is not changing who you are. We have stayed true to who we are since we started this. We knew what would appeal to us and what wouldn't appeal to us. And we had that MLM, gold chain and boats and hose.
Have you ever seen Step Brothers? Literally, we laugh every time. We're like, boats and hose. It's so funny. It cracks us up every time.
Yeah,
yes.
And so we've tried really hard to stay away from that and be lighthearted and fun because you know what? People have real jobs where they have to put on ties and go to work and sit at a desk. And who wants to do that? Nobody. We don't call meetings.
Get-togethers.
Yeah, come hang out with us. But so we haven't changed who we are. However, we have grown as people. And we've learned.
Susie has grown a ton. I got to tell you guys. She's had so much personal growth.
Yeah, he needed that.
It was amazing.
He was already. So, but we've grown so much as people. Like literally sometimes we're like, what we now know about people, and we're in the people business. Like if you don't know that, we're in the people business. 6 months into it, we were already Emerald driving our white Plexus Lexus, and I go, oh, network marketing. I think this has something to do with relationships. That's how dumb we were, okay? So I'm 43, and I have done relationships well my entire life. So me doing well in Plexus is because I was already doing well with relationships leading up to Plexus. If you haven't done real well with relationships, it's going to be a longer road for you. That's just how it is.
If a lot of your conversations end with F me, F you, right?
It's
going to take some personal growth. Oh, okay. Mom, F yourself.
I have to go to this. So we have an ambassador on our team. I don't personally know her, but I came across her post the other day. And I was like, please tell me this is not an ambassador on our team when I read her post, because what he just said, there was a lot of it in her post. And I was like, who is this person I'm friends with? So I'm reading. I figure out, yes, she's an ambassador because I go through her timeline. She would have a Plexus, get your Plexus pink drink. And then she would have a horrible, awful, terrible language post. And then she would talk about how awful she felt. And life sucks.
I'm up all night. I can't sleep.
But get you some Plexus.
Hey, you want to buy some Plexus? Do you guys want to buy some Plexus?
I took my computer to Chris and I'm like, look at these. I cannot believe this. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Your lifestyle, what you're putting out there on social media, if that's how you're growing your business, it has to match what you're sharing about Plexus.
Now, Susie, are you suggesting that they lie and be fake?
No, I'm not suggesting you lie and you're fake. But I am suggesting that if you're having a bad day, that you think about it before you go post it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And hey, our products truly do make you happier and make you feel better.
They really do.
So if you're feeling like that, you might not be taking the products enough or correctly.
So, and this is another good point, and you should probably write this down because I promise you this is a fact. And it goes right with what Susie just said. The healthier you get, the healthier your Plexus business will get.
Yes.
And so use it as an inspiration to make better decisions. Use it as an inspiration to go for a walk when you may not go for a walk. I'm not talking about, I don't care. This is not about weight loss. Like we know that. We didn't know it in the beginning, but we know it now. This is about health. So people that are held up, they go, well, I weigh 350 pounds. Why are people going to come to me? I promise you, if you're making an effort to do things, to get healthy, to lead a healthier lifestyle, people will identify that and they'll associate it with Plexus. And so you have to start to want to get better. Now, this is not about weight, so don't use that as an excuse. Don't say that like if you'll get over the weight part of this thing, which we wish they had changed the name of slim to something else, because people are so nuts about weight loss.
But here's the truth. People are willing to pay money to get skinny.
That's right.
They're not willing to pay the money to get healthy.
That's right.
So slim does appeal to people.
So
we just then have to educate them that it's so much more than weight loss. So what Chris was saying, like you could do a post, like let's say you never exercise and your friends and family know you don't. Let's say you put a post out that's like, I cannot believe that I just walked 2 miles today. You don't even have to say the word Plexus. They already know you love Plexus. They know that you want them to join Plexus. But by doing, we call those Plexus non-Plexus posts. We never say the word Plexus, but clearly we're already talking about Plexus, and this is what's enabling us to make these changes in our life. And you should just be going to walk and get healthy anyways.
Right. So here's a good point. So Susie is bringing up some good things, and we're trying to throw this at Susie. What?
I have to say this. So here's the other thing. People are watching. They might not be commenting. They might not be liking your posts. Okay. And I know this to be true because I would get messages, but those people would never comment or like anything. And we still, almost 3 years later, we still get messages from people. And
seriously,
they never have liked or commented on one thing. And they're like, okay, I think
what's
maybe I want to
drink.
Yeah, or maybe I want to try the
Have you been in prison? Where have you been? Do they not have the internet in prison? Because I can't believe you're just not messaging me, right?
But what they're doing is they're watching to see if A, is this really going to last? Is this a fad? B, I don't know, what's the B?
Are you being consistent with it?
Are you being consistent? And maybe they just weren't in the right place. Maybe they had a job that was great 2 years ago, but now the oil business has crashed and they're sucking it up and they need a new job. And so now they're coming to you. Or maybe they weren't in the place to want to get healthy, but now they have some health issues and they want to get healthy. You never know who those people are going to be. So the people that don't quit with Plexus are truly the people that will succeed with Plexus. We have people that come to us that are like, well, the person that I knew that did sell Plexus, and we don't sell Plexus ever. We share it. I don't think they do it anymore. So can I want to get it from you. I mean, I'm just telling you. So if you quit with Plexus, then you're missing out on future opportunities.
That was awesome stuff.
Thanks.
Fantastic stuff.
One of my favorite stories.
Oh, good.
One of our
Everybody get
ambassadors
comfortable.
One of our ambassadors was eating a candy bar, and her mom walks in the room and goes, "Oh, how's that pink drink working out for you?" So my point is they are watching, and they're watching to see if your lifestyle is matching.
And you can eat a freaking candy bar.
Yeah, you can eat a candy bar.
That's the beauty of our products, right?
And hopefully she went on to say, well, at least
cool.
I'm not eating 10.
Yeah, right? Something.
Yeah. So, okay. I know.
Well, pretty much Susie sucked the life out of the Zoom. It was awesome. It was so great. So, okay, let's talk about you for a second. What do y'all think of us? No. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the information. Like, here's our big thing, and I'm going to give you some really strategic advice here. If your goal, sometimes it freaks people out, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Our son, when he came to me, he had been a silver ambassador for about, 6 months.
Yeah. He was doing nothing. He was working at Academy.
Yeah. So, but he goes out to work like $8 an hour, and he comes home and he says, "Dad, I want to build my Plexus business. What do I do?" And this is the one that we told you is an introvert. And so I can't say, well, talk to everybody. He won't do that. So, but I gave him a specific plan, and I'm going to give you guys the same plan. But it is very important that you know that his end goal is to become a jewel with Plexus. Okay. And he wanted to do it quicker, sooner rather than later. So if you're hearing what I'm about to tell you, don't freak out, okay? Trust me, because I've told a lot of people this, and I've watched them go from silver to jewel doing this program that I'm about to put you on. But usually, the response is the same. So I'm trying to get you set up, so brace yourself, pull yourself up close to your seat before you fall out of it. My son says, how do I know if I'm doing it quick enough? I said, okay. I want you to add 3 people to your team somewhere each week. And he looked at me and he laughed and he says, "Dad, it took me 6 months to go silver. And you want me to?" I go, no, not you. You don't have to add them all. I said, I just want you to help your team. I don't care if it's a 3-way call. I don't care if you drag them over to our house. You need to add 3 people a week. We'll reassess where we're at as you start to go. Well, he calls me up the first week or sends me a text and says, "I've added 4 this week. I can't believe it. I added my girlfriend. They added her mom. And this is important. I'm unconcerned. We were unconcerned about what level they are to you. Matter of fact, we don't know what level anybody is on our team.
We never have any idea.
We have over 17,000 people on our team now, and we literally were silver 3 years ago. You understand, right? So when we tell you this, we know it works. So suddenly he starts doing the program. He went gold, senior gold, like month after month. Ruby is about to, this all started about 6 months ago when he really started working his business. His goal was to be in Kona. Well, he's not going to hit it. He won't get there.
He's very close.
Very close. But all of a sudden, I see him start posting. He texts me, we had a 10 this week. I did a little sip and see. I did this, whatever he had to do. So my encouragement to you is this. Now, remember, if you're trying to get your products paid for, this is not your program. Okay, I'm not suggesting that you do this. But if you really want to know if you're on a pace to achieve jewel status, it may take a year or two. It may take longer for you. That's irrelevant. I promise you, if you will help the people that you bring on duplicate and just add 1, add 2, add 3, help them add a customer. I'm trying to get you to realize it's not necessarily about all you do. It's about what you do for the people that are on your team, and they'll slowly start to grab traction. And the next thing you know, it creates a snowball that you couldn't get out of. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and here's another thing. I'm going with what he's talking about.
Okay.
So Tanner, he's 21. And he really started trying for the business. Is he 20? I guess 20.
Yeah.
His friends aren't so interested in health.
Right.
But what they are interested in is maybe not working for $8 an hour and being able to go fishing instead of working.
Yeah.
And so he really has had to lead with the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that you remember that you need to appeal to different people. Some people will be all about the health. Some people will be all about the opportunity. But make sure you're appealing to different people's wants and needs.
Yeah.
What appeals to us might not be what appeals to you. We had somebody join our team because they want the Bloomingdale's shopping spree or Nordstrom's this year. And so, that's no reason I ever would have joined anything because I don't even like to go shopping unless it's for running shoes. So I'm just saying, make sure you're thinking about appealing to different people, different ages. Celeste Gwynn has always led with the business opportunity. I didn't know that until, I don't know, a few months ago or a year ago or whatever. And I was like, really? Because I always had just led with health because that's my passion and I love seeing people's health changed with the products. But when you're meeting different people, going with the business opportunity is definitely easier than Chris always likes to say. If there's, a heavy person in Walmart, he's certainly not going to walk up to him.
Yeah. You want to take some of my pink skinny drink? You do? You want to try some? Fruit punch. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Oh, no likey. Yeah. You don't like it, right?
Right. So, but you can approach them about the business opportunity.
Yes.
So, okay. So good.
So here's the thing. We're so excited that we got a chance to share with you this morning. We are not very techie people. Okay. So as we do this, just know that we love you guys, but we got to go. See ya.
All right. I think they're gone. Are they gone for real? I don't see them anymore. Does anybody see them? Okay, awesome. Well, they are hilarious and they have been very successful. And I know them personally and they are just really sweet, genuine people. When I first met them and got to spend some time with them, we were in Scottsdale. And it was amazing how much our stories were similar, us both being in the mortgage industry and that crashing and just kind of losing, what we had in that. And so they really, really, really are about helping people. And obviously they're passionate about it. And so I do agree. You have to stay true to yourself. I was on a Zoom last night with Jen Whelan and some of her team members. And that's what I said. I said, you have to stay true to yourself. You can you should duplicate what your leaders and what the diamonds and jewels and what they are teaching you, but you have to do it in a way that is you. Because if not, people are not going to trust who you are, right? They trust you. And so do the things we tell you, but stay true to who you are. So anyways, I do think they gave some great advice. One thing they were talking about was Facebook. I loved how Chris explained it because actually that's exactly how Scott Anderson explains it. It must be a man thing. Like Scott's like, think of a shotgun. And I'm like, I don't think of shotguns, but whatever. And So, but one thing I have noticed this week, and I talked about it on my video yesterday, is I know a lot of people are using like Facebook events to invite people to y'all's meetings. And that's fine because you can kind of gauge maybe if people are going to RSVP. But what I have noticed is that you can now see when somebody, like it'll say seen on your guest list. And we have had 2 sippencies this week that have used those. And I would say 80 to 85% probably of the people who were invited have never even seen the invitation. That's it. I really believe that, but now that you can see it, I know that it holds true. So we have to be making personal communication with these people for sure. So anyways, I agreed with just, everything that they said. They are great and they are fun. And anyways, if anybody has any questions, y'all can pop on here real fast. And if not, we will hop off. Let's read this in. I've been trying for months. I just think, team pages are great, but again, people don't see everything on your team page. There are things that I don't see on my own team page, truth be told. There's stuff that I don't see on my own personal wall, and I have to approve everything that goes on my personal wall. Truthfully, reaching out with a phone call is, I think, the hugest thing. Keeping in contact with your team members. I talk to a lot of my level ones like every other day, some weeks. I mean, just keeping in personal communication with them, doing lunches, doing trainings, doing meetings. And I think that definitely helps for sure. Because there's one more question. Let me read it. Megan, they're not in here, so that would be something that you might need to message them. I have no idea if they've asked management if they can do that or not. I have no idea. So anyways, but yeah, so I think today was a great call. It's always fun to have somebody different, and they're so much fun for sure. So next week, Ariele and I will both be gone for the week, so we will not have a Zoom next week. And the next week we have Lori Harrison, who is just like the fungus queen is what I don't know if she still calls herself that, but she is very knowledgeable in gut health. Even before Plexus, she researched gut health. And so she will be on, and then we're getting another great lineup. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sharing with your teams, and thank you for all that we do. We are so thankful for each and every single one of you. Ariele had to hop off. She had a worker at her house doing something, but I know she feels the exact same way. So I will work on the recording and get it posted so y'all share on your teams whenever y'all get it. And if y'all ever need anything, we're here. So y'all have a great day. Thanks, guys.